What am what am I looking at? Are you fucking serious? You know what I've had enough of? Is your fucking bullshit.
Okay, so at this point, I am beyond frustrated, and I thought that this was going to be long enough to do as a Skull Asylum sit down. But at this point, I'm just going to say fuck it and just do it the way that this is going to be done. So, you know what, Mattel? You know what? I am sick and tired of the fucking bullshit schemes that you guys always seem to pull every fucking year with your Mattel releases. It's like you never learn your lessons. You never learn your lessons because when you either understock shit to the point where no one can find it, and then you seem to overstock shit, so then you have figures that sit on the fucking shelves for months and months and months and months and never move, and then we never get any new figures. So it's like, you know, damned if you do and damned if you don't situation with Mattel, but that's not even my frustrations here. I mean, it's definitely one of my frustrations, but it's not the frustration that I want to focus on here. Okay? I have been trying to find the Legend Series 10 Big Van Vader, okay? Because this is the New Japan / WCW Vader, and I've been wanting a really good Vader figure, and this is probably the best Vader that we're ever going to get. And so when I saw that this shit was going to be put up as a Target exclusive with the Legends line, I was really happy because I've never had any issues finding any of the Legends figures. The Eddie Guerrero, I had no real issues finding it. Yeah, it took a little bit for him to pop up, but I found him. The Legend Series 9 Undertaker took a little bit to pop up, but I found one. And when it comes to this figure, though, this is what really shows that Mattel doesn't give a shit, that they are on the Hasbro mentality. Okay? This figure was supposed to come out with the John Cena because those two were store exclusives, and then the other half of this line is an online exclusive, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But the fact that you have the audacity to put half of your fucking line in the store and half of it online is some bullshit, okay? That's not how you do a line. When you do a line, and you've been doing a line for several series where they all show up in the store, you put them in the fucking store, alright? Since you seem to already not know, because apparently some of the people that work on this Mattel WWE Elite line are also collectors, so it seems like you guys have not already learned that situation of putting online exclusives on store websites. It's like you guys haven't fucking learned that you have people with bots and you have people that scalp and flip these fucking figures, and they're always up at the right time, so then whenever you try to, you know, whenever people are up at the right fucking time to make sure that, you know, whenever the shit is supposed to drop at the time and date that it's supposed to drop at, you know, they go to click add to their cart and it somehow has magically sold in, you know, the span of 0.5 seconds. And it's like, you guys haven't already learned this? Like, you guys are supposed to be collectors. You guys should already know this shit. But of course, you guys never have to deal with these issues because you fucking work at the company. So whenever you want figures, you always get them for free because you work at the fucking company. So you never have to deal with any of this bullshit. And it's really funny because whenever we bring up these issues, you never seem to want to fucking fix them. Alright? This shit is beyond ridiculous. You know what I mean? Whenever we ask, hey, what happened to this line? What happened to this line? When's this line coming out? Why haven't I seen this line in the stores? You always seem to ignore these fucking questions whenever you should be answering them, and yet you answer comments that are, oh my god, these figures look so great, they look fantastic, I can't wait to get my hands on them. And it's like, this is how I know that it's that favoritism shit, and that you try to dodge fucking important information and, you know, serious concerns in terms of calling out your shitty distribution, and instead want to bring up some, you know, fanboy bullshit that they always seem to do. And this shit is ridiculous, because this is the same shit that Hasbro has been doing for the past few years, especially with this G.I. Joe classified line. It's like, you know, you see them on the shelves once and then that's it. So, you know what I mean? It's like, what the actual fuck? And then by the time that we actually get the line, it's like 4 or 5 months afterwards. And it's like, what the fuck is going on for real? Like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. I just don't. It's like, the care should be there, because you should be technically putting your fans first, and the people, your consumers first, because that's how it works in a business. You're supposed to care about the consumers and make sure that the supply and demand is there, and it's clearly not there. So, you know, that is a serious fucking issue that Mattel needs to seriously fix. And they just have yet to fix it. But going back to this, I have seen several people that have found these figures and have had the street date lifted several days before the actual fucking release date. You have several days, and people are getting them early, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on with this? And now I'm wondering why there's none in the fucking store, because the stores are lifting street dates and shit. And it's like, so we're dealing with stores lifting street dates early, and then you have Target employees already taking some of this shit, and I've seen it a lot with the NECA shit already, that they're taking it and pulling that backdoor shit where they're selling it out the back and scalping it and flipping it, because they have the home team advantage, because they can just literally take that shit off the line, or off the floor, as it's called, sales-wise, it's called the floor, and go buy that shit and, you know, get their nice little team member discount and all that shit, and, you know, buy 2-3 of them, because the stores seem to not give a fuck, even though technically the item in question, if it's a hot item, should be on the floor for at least 24 to 48 hours before the employees are able to buy it. That way you make sure that your consumers have already gotten theirs, and whatever's left over, then okay, yeah, the team members should get it. But apparently Mattel doesn't like to play that mentality, Hasbro doesn't like to play that mentality, and neither does NECA like to play that mentality. And you know what I mean? And I know I like to bust Jazzware's balls for this stuff too. However, at least with Jazzware's, in every fucking Target that I go to, I at least see Series 3. I at least see AEW figures in the stores. Alright? With Walmart, that's a different story, but they have their own reasons on why the AEW figures ain't showing up. But I have seen a few AEW figures at Walmarts and Targets, so even though they're the peg warmers of the line, I'm still counting that shit as, you know, the AEW figures are being distributed to Targets and Walmarts better than the Mattel shit is. And this is why, you know, Jazzwares is just killing Mattel, because they are looking to make the changes. Okay? Whenever Series 1 first came out and we had those distribution issues, you know, Jeremy was on it. And you know what? As much as I like to bash, you know, Jeremy and, you know, the people at Jazzwares sometimes, I will at least give them props for this. Because when Series 1 had the shitty distribution issues, you know, they went and they were looking into it and they were cracking down on it and making sure that we need to get this fixed. So then, people are able to actually get these figures, and they did. It took me quite a few weeks and maybe a month in order to get, Series 1 of the AEW figures, but I was able to get, some of them. And then here it's like, you can't fucking get them, but I bet if I go, to Target in the next few weeks, that they'll just be flooding the fucking pegs, like literally flooding to the point where they won't sell, and you know what I mean? Or maybe it's the case that they never show up on the pegs. Only the John Cena's show up on the pegs. And the Vaders never show up. And then I never get the fucking Vader. So, you know what I mean? And I refuse to pay scalper prices for that shit, alright? With Darby, I was willing to go at least 30 for him. And that's an exception because I genuinely like Darby as a wrestler. So that is the reason why I paid what I did for him. The other figures from Series 3 and Series 2 and Series 1, I paid regular price for those. But with Darby, because I never found him, you know what I mean? I just went on Macari and I went through the Facebook groups and got, 2 of them for, $30. So, that is my only exception with those type of figures. Everything else, if I don't see it, I don't get it. And if I see it, then I get it. So, anyway, that's my rant out of the way. I know that it got real heated, but that is my thoughts, man. When you've been doing this shit for a couple of years, and the thing that gets you back into collecting is the Mattel WWE figures, and you're trying to get your favorites, it's difficult. And it's very frustrating at the same time because the company that does them seems to not give a fuck. So, anyway, with that being said, thank you again for listening to my rant. And expect some reviews soon. All right. And an announcement regarding the podcast. So, thank you very much for watching, and Action Figure Addict 112 out.